Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue with your procedure programming module, that is the second module which I have started after the computer system. In the last class we have finished with the arrays, that is what is an array, what is one-dimensional array, what is two-dimensional array, and what is three-dimensional array. So in the last class we have finished with the chapter number 8, that is the array. Now today I am going to continue with your chapter number 9, that is a string, that is chapter number 9. But before this, let's take a quick review what we have covered in the last class, that is what we have covered in the last class about the arrays. So starting with the last class session, just revision of the last class. In the last class we have started with the concept, that is a two-dimensional array, that is how we can combine or how we can write data in multiple rows and multiple columns, that is a two-dimensional array. So when we write data in a 2 rows, in a 2 column, in a 3 rows, in a 3 column, that is known as the two-dimensional array. So we have studied about this with the different programs with the different concepts. The two-dimensional array is also known as the matrix. So matrix is a name that is given to the two-dimensional array. It is a sample program that stores the roll number and the marks obtained by the student side by side in a matrix. So this is the example that we have discussed, that how roll number and the marks will be stored. That is how roll number and the marks will be stored by the student, or marks is stored for the students. This is a for loop that is using. In this we have to take the input from the user like roll number, marks, and this we have to print the output, that is a printf student I0 student I1. So first of all at this level, this is used for the different levels, different rows, different column. There are two parts to the program. In the first part, for loop, in the for loop we read in the values of the roll number and marks. So this is the first part that is used to read the roll number and the marks of the student. Whereas in the second part, the for loop, we print these values. That is for the second part. In the second part of the loop, that is second for loop, that is used to print the values. Let us look at the scanf statement that is used in the first for loop. This is the first statement that is used. That is %d, %d student I0, student I1. That is these two are used. The first subscript of the variable, that is stu0, is a row number. This is a row number which changes for every student. This change for every student. This is the example that we have discussed. Here 1 2 3 4 is stored in the student 0 0. Then next we have discussed how to initialize a two-dimensional array. Initialization means how to give the starting of the two-dimensional array. This is how do we initialize a two-dimensional array. A simple example is this one. This is the example how we initialize a two-dimensional array in which there are multiple rows and there are multiple columns. There in this, the first row or the first part of the array, this is the first part that denotes the rows, and this part denotes the column. This is 4, this is 2. So there are 4 rows and 2 columns, and even this would work. This is the concept. How it will be declared, either we can declare in this way or either we can declare in this way. Then we have studied about that the note. It is important to remember that while initializing a 2D array, it is necessary to mention the second column dimension. That is, it is necessary to mention the column dimension, whereas the first dimension, that is the row, is optional. That is, it is not mandatory to give the row, but it is mandatory to give the column in the array description, that is the array 1 2. Therefore the declaration are perfectly acceptable. This is the declaration that is perfectly acceptable, whereas this is not acceptable. Why this is not acceptable? Because in this there is a column that's specified, but there is no column that's specified over here, which would never work. Then memory map of the two-dimensional array. Then we have studied how data will be stored in a two-dimensional array, that is a memory mapping of two-dimensional array. This is the example. First of all, it will store at the 0 0 location, 0 1 location, 1 0 1 1 2 0 2 1 3 0 3 1. So this row will be started the 0 ending with the 3. So there are total 4 rows and there are only 2 columns. What are the names of 2 columns? That is 0 and the 1. 0 and the 1. 0, 1, 0, 1. We can easily refer to the marks obtained by the third student using the subscript notation as shown below. This is the line that is used for the printing the marks of the third student only. This is the marks for the third student, that is the 80, that is the third row and the second column. Then we have discussed about the pointers and the two-dimensional array. That is how pointer will be used or how pointer is used in connection with the two-dimensional array. So this says the C language embodies an unusual but powerful capability. It can treat part of the arrays as an array. That is, it can treat every part of the array as an array. More specifically, each row of a two-dimensional array can be thought of a one-dimensional array. That is, every two-dimensional array can be thought of a one-dimensional array. This is very important fact if we wish to access array elements of a two-dimensional array using the pointers. Therefore, this declaration can be thought of a setting of array of 5 elements. Then we will discuss about how we can use the arrays of an array. That is how 2D array is used as an array of arrays. So this is the concept. First of all, main function is used. Then this is the array that uses or that denotes, that starts with the S. That is, the array name is S and there are 4 rows and the 2 columns. So 4 rows and 2 columns are used over here. Then int I. Int I means it is only the initialization of the variable, that is I. Then uses the for loop, that is I equals to 0, I is less than equals to 3 because it goes up to 0 to 3, that is the 4 rows and there are I plus plus. Then there is a printf. What is a printf? That is the address of I in the 1D array, that is the I and the SI. That is the I will be used, I variable and the SI variable will be used. Here is the output. This is the output, how it will be referred or how it will be used. Then we have discussed how to pass or how to use the pointer to an array. That is how we can pass the values of a pointer to an array. This is the usage of the pointer to an array. This is the example. Here there are 5 rows and 2 columns. This is not wrong. There are 4 rows and the 2 columns and there is a pointer variable that is used, that is a pointer p2. Then there is a ij pointer print. So there are 3 variables that is used. One is I, one is j, one is pointer print. So print is a pointer variable that refers to the integer value. And this is also a pointer variable that stores the array. That is a pointer variable, or pointer is p is the pointer variable that stores the 2 values. Then there is a for loop. Then for I equals to 0, I is less than equals to 3, I plus plus uses this concept. Then printf this is the for this one. For loop will be used for printing the output. This is the output. Here p is a pointer to an array of 2 integers. Note that the parentheses in the declaration of p are necessary. Absence of them would make p as an array of 2 integer pointers. Array of pointers is covered in a later section in this chapter. Then we have studied how to pass the 2D array to a function. That is how how we can pass through a function that is a 2D array. That is how 2D array will be passed through a function. Then we have discussed about how to pass the array or the 2D array. This is the example that we have discussed. This is the example how the array will be passed. This is the display function. There are 3 values that will be passed. One is a, one is 3, one is 4. Then show, then print. Then display function will be used. One is using the pointer variable, one is only row, one is only column. This is a show function in which also uses the pointer variable, row and the column. And there are 4 loop that is used. Then this is the array of pointer that we have already discussed. That is how array of pointer will be used. Means we can also give the array of pointers either integer, either float, either double. That is, we can give any type of integer, any type of array, that is either integer pointer, either float pointer, either double pointers. The addresses that is present in the array of pointer can be address of the isolated variable or addresses of array elements of any address. This is the example, this is the value, and this is the address. Now array is the ARR is the array that stores the address. This stores the address. This is the value of for this one, but it has a unique address also. So this stores the address of I. So this contains the value of as the address of the I, again J, K, L. Then we will discuss about the last, that is a three-dimensional array. That is how three-dimensional array will be used. That is not used in general, but it is rarely used. That is a three-dimensional array, but it is not in practice by the programmer. That is how three-dimensional array will be used, right? So this says we are not going to show a programming example that uses a three-dimensional array. This is because in practice one rarely uses this array. However, an example of initializing a three-dimensional array will consolidate your understanding of these subscripts. This is the example of the array. ARR is the array. There are three. So if we say a three-dimensional array, that is array of arrays, that is one array will be used. This is one array that contains 4 rows and 2 columns. So there are 4 rows and 2 columns, and there are 3 types of array. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. This denotes the number of array, this denotes the number of rows in each array, and this denotes the number of column in each array. This can be thought of as an array of arrays of array. The outer array has a 3 element, each of which is a 2-dimensional of 4-dimensional array which contains 2 integers. This is the 2D array that is at the 0, first and the second. Again remember that the arrangement shown above is only the conceptually true. Then there is a summary that we have discussed about this chapter. That is, what is a summary? An array is a similar to ordinary variable except that it can store multiple elements of similar type. That is, array is similar to the ordinary variable, but it can store multiple elements of the same type. Compiler does not perform bound checking on an array. The array variable acts as a pointer. In a 1D array, 0 element in a single row, and the 2D array, this element is a 1D array. On incrementing a pointer, it points to the location of its types. Array elements are stored in a contiguous, that is a side by side or along with along memory location, and they are accessed using the pointers. Only limited arithmetic can be done on the pointers. For example, we cannot add 2 pointers together. We cannot multiply the constant with the pointer. We cannot divide the constant with the pointer. So these are the various limitations that will be excluded among the arithmetic operations on the pointers. This is the exercise about the arrays. This is the exercise about the simple arrays. Then pick out the error. In the last class we have discussed so many problems, so many arrays, so many solve problem, figure out problem, odd one out problem, error problem about this. And in fact, yesterday's session was very interesting session because there is an interaction among the students. This is the more on the arrays and the pointers. This is also we have discussed about the true, false, match the column, multiple choice. These are the various problems. Now let's start with the chapter number 9, that is a today's session, that is putting on the strings. Putting on the strings means explain the concept of the strings, what is the string, how string will be used, and what is the usage of string, and how pointer will be used in the string. That is how we can use the pointer along with the string, that is the pointer and the string. So these are the various topics that we have discussed, or we are going to discuss in this chapter. First of all, there is a concept, that is a string, that is a what are strings. Then second, more about the strings. More about the string means in detail what are the strings, how we can use the strings, what is going on in the strings. Then third point is pointers and string. That is how pointer is used, that is how we can use the pointer variable within the string. That is how we can combine the pointer with the string. Then standard library string functions. That is how we can use the standard library string functions. There are general, or there are so many standard library string functions like strlen, cpy, cat, cmp. That is a length function, copy function, cat function, and the comparison function. Then two-dimensional array of characters. That is how we can combine the two-dimensional array of the characters. Then array of pointers to a string. That is how we can use the pointer to the string, that is the array of pointers. Then limitation of array of pointers to the string, and then there is a solution, there is a summary, there is a exercise. So these are the various topics that is covered in this chapter, that we will covering in this chapter, right? So let's start with what is a string. So first of all, this is the introduction. That is in the last chapter, that is array chapter, you learned how to define array of different sizes, different dimension. That is, in the last class we have discussed about different arrays, or how array will be defined of different sizes and their different dimensions, and how to initialize the array, how to pass the array to a function, etc. So in the last chapter we discussed about the arrays, passing the array, initializing the array. With this knowledge under your belt, you should be ready to handle the strings. That is, if you have a knowledge of array, you are easily cope up, or you easily take the concept of the strings, right, which are simply put a special kind of array. So string is nothing but a special kind of array, that is a collection of characters. And strings, the way to manipulate them and how pointers are related to strings are going to be the topics of discussion in this chapter. That is how string will be used, and how we can give the string, and what is the way how we can manipulate the string, how pointer will be used to manipulate the strings. Now let's start with what are the strings, right? The way a group of integer can be stored in an integer array. Similarly, a group of characters can be stored in a character array. So what are the strings? Strings are nothing but a group of integer that can be stored as an integer array. In the same way, group of characters are stored in a character array. That is also a string. So in simple terms, whenever we group a number of characters, or whenever we group a number of characters together, that can be stored in a character array. That is a string. So it is a collection of array. Character array are many types, also known as the string. As I told you, when we combine multiple characters, that is known as the character array, and that is known as the strings. Many languages internally treat string as a character array. Internally means many string that is available that treats the string as a character array, or the character array as a string, but somehow conceal this fact from the programmer. Character array or string are used by many programming languages to manipulate the text, such as words and the sentences. Suppose my requirement is that I have to manipulate the text, that is done by the character array, that is done by the string, that is available in the C language for the manipulation for the words and the sentences. So in simple terms, whenever we use the character array, that is a collection of characters, that is known as the string in the array, that is used to manipulate the text, such as the words and the sentences. Next point says a string consists is a one-dimensional array of characters. That is, if we use array, if we use the string, that is only a one-dimensional array of characters. Why it is one-dimensional? Because there are no two rows, there are no two columns. And next is your important point, please listen carefully. Whenever we use the string, that string that is the array of characters can be terminated by the null character. So this is a null character. That means every string should be terminated by the null character. What is a null character? This is a null character. Like this one. For example, char name. Char is a data type, name is the array name, and in this there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 character that is used. One is H, A, E, S, L, E, R. So there are 6 characters, 7 character that is used, and last character, that is a character set or the array of characters, is terminated by the null character, that is a /0. So in this every string is terminated by the null character. What is the null character? This is the null character, right? Next point says each character in the array occupies 1 byte of memory. Why every character occupies only 1 byte? Because it is defined of character type. That's why it occupies only 1 byte of memory. And the last character is always null. This is always null, and each character occupies only 1 byte of memory. What character is this? It looks like 2 characters. This is, what is this? It looks like a 2 characters, but it is actually only 1 character, and with the slash indicating that what follows is, it is something special. That is what follows is, that is something special that we'll be using. /0 is known as the null character. So whenever we use the /0, that is known as the null character. Note that the /0 and the 0 are not same. So whenever we use the slash, that is not same as the simple 0. ASCII value of /0 is only 0, whereas the ASCII value of 0 is 48. That is, if I use ASCII value, that is the American Standard Code for Information Interchange, if I use the null character that has a value 0, whereas the ASCII value of 0, that is only 0, is 48. Figure 9.1 shows the way a character array is stored in the memory. Note that the elements of the character array are stored in the contiguous memory location. The same concept of the array, but the difference is that in this only the array is formed of the character. So any array of characters or the character array is known as the string. That is the stored in a contiguous, that is a side-by-side memory location. The terminated null is important. That is, whenever we use the null character, that is very important, because it is putting, or it puts at the end of the line, at the end of the characters, because it is the only way the function that work on with the string can know where the string ends. So whenever there is a null character, at that place the strings ends. In fact, a string not terminated by the null is not really a string, but merely a collection of characters. That is, if we cannot terminate the string, or we cannot terminate the characters with the null character, that is not a string. So in C, in any programming, whenever we say that the characters or the array of characters is terminated by the null, that is only known as the strings. Otherwise, it is merely a collection of characters. So this paragraph or this introduction simply says that like array of integers, there is an array of characters also that is known as the string, but the condition is that in string all the characters are stored, and that will be terminated by the null character. And every character, each character in the array occupies 1 byte of memory. This is the example, that is HAESLER, and this is terminated by the null character. And in this, each address is incremented by only 1 byte. This is 65518, 65519, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25. That means each address is incremented by only 1 byte, that is 1819202122232425. That is, each will be incremented by only 1 byte. Why? Because everyone is incremented by the because the data type that is used is the char. C considers the fact that you should use string very often, and hence provide a shortcut for initializing the strings. For example, the string used above can also be initialized as this one. That is, the string that is used that can be initialized as this one. That is, we can also initialize the string as this one. Like name is the array name, there is a blank space, and there are multiple character that is used. Note that in this declaration /0 is not necessary. C inserts the null character automatically. So whenever there is a requirement, C inserts the null character automatically at the end of the character. That is a null character that is used. Next, more about the string. That is the in this we are defining more means the program that is related to the string. And believe me, strings are very important part that is used in the strings are the very important part that is available in the C language. In what way are character arrays different from the numeric arrays? See, can element in an array, character array, can be accessed in the same way as the element of a numeric array. That is, can elements in a character array can be accessed in the same way as the element of the numeric array? This is the question. Do I need to take any special care of /0? Why numeric arrays don't end with this one? Declaring string is okay, but how do I manipulate them? These are the various questions in my mind, question galore. Well, let us settle some of these issues right away with the help of simple program. So let us take the simple program that resolve these issues. The program to demonstrate printing of a string. So first of all, main function will be used. Then there is a char name equals to clinson or clinsman. This is the char is the data type, name is the array name, there is a clinsman, that is the name of the array, or this is the string of the character, that is the clinsman. Then I equals to 0, that is the one more variable is defined, that is the I, that is initialized with the value that is the 0. While I is less than 7, that is this is the condition that is used, the while loop, that is looping, that is while I is less than equals to 7, that is it start with the 7, it end with the it start with the 0, it end with the 7. So it will execute for the 8 times, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it will be executed for the 8 times, that is from 0 to 7. Then there is a printf statement, that is %c name I. Why we are using the %c? Because we are using the character variable. For integer we are using d, for float we are using f, and for character, for string, we are using %c. And there is a name I. So first of all, this is name 0, so it will print at the name 0 location. What is the name 0? That is the k will be printed. Then at the name 1, that is the next character, that is the L will be printed. Then name 2, I will be printed, name 3, and so on till N will be printed. Why? Because we are going, or we are starting from 0 and ending with 7, that is from 0 to 7. Then there is a I++, that will be, I will be incremented every time. That's why it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it starts with the 0, ending with 7. So it will be executing at the 8 times, or it will be executing for the 8 times. So this is a simple program. Now let us see what is the output. This is the output. No big deal. We have initialized a character array and then printed out the elements of this array within the while loop. Can we write the while loop without using the final value 7? We can, because we are going, or we know that each character array always ends with the null character. Now this is the meaning that we have specified that it is while I is less than 7. But what if we do not know the limit till which place it will be going? So we can also done, because we know that the character or the string always terminate with the null character. So we can do this by checking the condition, that is the array is not equals to null. Why? Because when the array becomes going to equal to the null, that will be the ending of the string. So this is also the concept we can also use. So we can define by this function, that is the main. Then char name equals to clinson, that is we are defining the string, we are defining the string as a name or we are defining the array name as a array name as a name, and the char is a data type, so it is a string. And what is the output in this string? That is a cleanse man. Then there is a I equals to 0, that is I is a variable that is equals to the 0, that is of integer type. Now check the condition. What is the condition? While name I not equals to the null. What is the condition? That is the name I is not equals to the null. Means going to the loop, start from the loop 0 till it becomes the null. So this is name I is not equals to the null. Next, this is the condition. So this becomes at the 0 location it will be printed, at the 1 location it will be printed, 2 location it will be printed. So it will print from 0 to the 7 or 0 to the n number of times until and unless the null character will not arrive. That is, until and unless null will not arrive, this will never terminate. So this loop will terminate whenever there is a null character. So this is also a way, means whenever there is a ending of the character, mean there is a null character. So this null or in this way we can identify that the end of the string comes. So we do not have to specify only the number, but we can also check with the help of the null characters. This is char name equals to listen, int I equals to 0, name I is not equals to null. Then printf %c name I. Then I++. So first of all it will go for the 0. So here there is a condition, that is name I, that is name 0. At the name 0 it is not equals to 0, then uses the name I. It is not equals to 0 because at the 0 location there is a k. Then I++, that is at the 1, that is name 1 is not equals to null. This is also checked, so this is using the L. Then name 2, then uses the 2 I, then name 3 N S M A N. But after N, what will happen? There is no character, that means that is equals to the null. So this loop will false. Now the cursor becomes, or look over here, that means the loop will terminate. So this is the loop that is used, that checks the condition that it will terminate until it will terminate whenever there is no character after the last character. This is a while loop, and this is the checking for the next condition. And here is the output. This is the output. This program does not rely on the length of the string, that is the number of characters in it, to print out the content, and hence it is definitely more general than the earlier one. There is another version of the same program. This uses the pointer to access the array elements. That is how we can use the pointer to access the array elements. So simple, main will be used. This will be used as definition or defining the string. Then uses or defining the pointer, that is a PTR pointer, that is of character type. Then PTR equals to name, that is in this pointer we can store the address of the array. That is PTR is the pointer that stores the address of the array, that is the stores the base address of the string. Now check the condition, that while pointer is not equals to null, then print the pointer values. This says as with integer, by mentioning the name of array we get the base address of the 0 location of the array. This base address is stored in the PTR using PTR equals to name. That is, the addresses will be displayed by this example. Once the base address is obtained in PTR, then pointer PTR will give the value at this address, because PTR contains the address. So whenever we use the pointer PTR, that will show only the value, that is the what is the value that yields at this address. So this is the line that gives the value. Then PTR is incremented to the next character string, that is the PTR or the pointer variable is incremented to the next character string. This derived from the two facts. Array elements are stored in the contiguous memory location, and on incrementing a pointer it points to the immediately next location of this type. This process is carried out till PTR does not point to the last character in the string, that is the 0. That is, this is the condition that is used while PTR is not equals to the 0. In fact, the character array elements can be accessed exactly in the same way as the elements of an integer array. That is, we can access in the same way as we done in the integer array. So first what will be used, that is a name I, then pointer name plus I, then I plus name, then I name. So these are the four notation that will be used for the refers to the or accessing the array elements of the integer arrays. Even though there are so many ways to refer to the character array, rarely is any of them used. This is because printf function has a good suite, and doing it now does note that printf does not print the null character. That is, if I define this one, use the printf, this is also used to print the values. So this is an example that shows how we can also print the character array, that is how we can print the name with using the character array, that is a name equals to Klinsmann. Then uses the printf, uses the percentage s. Why we are using the percentage s instead of the percentage c? Because now I'm trying to get the whole string, I'm trying to print the whole string at the same time. But in the previous examples, my target is to print the string or the characters of the strings one by one. But in this, my target is to print the whole string or print the whole array of characters at the same time. That's why I'm using the s. So in simple terms, whenever we have to print the characters, we have to use percentage c, and whenever we have to print the whole string, then we have to use the percentage s. So there are two types, or there are two specifiers. One is percentage s, one is percentage c. The same specification can be used to receive a string from the keyboard. That is main, then char name 25. That is, the 25 is the number of characters that is displayed in the name array. Then this is by asking from the user, that is enter your name. Then how name will be entered? By using the percentage s and the name. So this is the use for the storing in the memory, and then uses the printf for printing the values, that is hello percentage s, that is a name. So this is the best example that is used how we can get the input, or how we can get the input from the user and then display it. So first of all, the name or the char name 25 will be used, that is a char name 25. Then that is the array will be declared. Then enter your name one by one, or one by one user will enter the name, then it will print the name. So this is the name, this is the Debashish, and then hello Debashish. Why hello? Because this is given and there is a percentage s. Percentage s means this name will be mentioned, this name that will be entered by the user. This is hello Debanish or Debashish. Note that the declaration, this one, set aside 25 bytes under the array, this one. So this means giving the 25 bytes to the array, that is a name array, whereas the scanf function fills in the character type at the keyboard into the array. That is, the scanf function is used, so fill the typed array or fill the character type at the keyboard into this array until the enter key is hit. That is, at the keyboard different key characters are keyed in until and unless we cannot print the enter button. Once enter is hit, scanf places a /0, that is a null in the arrays. So once we press the enter key, the scanf function places a null character in the array. Naturally, we should pass the base address of the array to the scanf function. That is, naturally we should pass the same address of the base address of the array to the scanf functions. While entering the string using scanf, we must be cautious about two things. That is, we must be cautious about the two things. What are the two things? The length of the string should not exceed the dimension of the character array. That is, whatever the length we have given, for example here, if I have given this one, that will not exceed this one. Suppose I have taken only 5 and we have given the name this. This is the row. Why? Because the initialization is less than the what we give as the input. That is not the correct way. So this says the length of the string should not exceed the dimension of the character array. This is because the C compiler does not perform bound checking on the character array. This is why, or that's the main reason why C compiler does not perform the bound checking on the character array. Hence, if you carelessly exceeds the bound, there is always a danger of overwriting something important. And in this case, you won't have, or you would not have, nobody to wind up by themselves. Hence, if you carelessly exceeds the bound, there is always a danger of overwriting something important. And in this case, you won't have nobody to blame by yourself. Next point says, scanf is not capable of receiving multi-word string. That is, it is not capable of taking multi-word string or multi-character string. Therefore, names such as Debashish Troy would be unacceptable. That is, we cannot give the name by giving the gap, by giving the special symbol. The way to get around this limitation by using the gets. So, scanf has a limitation that it cannot be accepted, or it cannot give, or it cannot take the name as the gap, or there is a gap in the names. So, for removing this limitation, we can use the function. What is the function name? That is the gets. The usage of the function gets and its counterpart puts is shown below. Now, let's see how we can use the gets and the puts. So, in simple terms, whenever we have to give the space, or we have to give the multi-words, then we have to use the gets. So, there are two parts. One is gets, one is puts. Gets is like a scanf for entering the data into the array, or getting the data into the memory, and puts is used to print the output. So one is gets, one is puts. For gets, we can scan the value, we can get the value into the memory, and in puts we can print the value. So in place of scanf we use the gets, and in place of printf we use the puts. This is the main function that is used. Then char name 25. So char is the data type, name is the array, 25 is the number of characters. Then printf, enter your full name. Then gets the name. Gets means printing or getting the or storing the name of the person in the memory. Then using the puts, that is printing the output, that is a hello. Then puts name. This is hello will be printed, and then puts the name. What is the name? That will be entered by the user. This is the output. Enter your name, Devarish Roy. Then there is a hello. Why hello? Because this is used for printing. Then there is a name, that is a Devashish Roy. The program and the output are self-explanatory except for the fact that puts can display only one string at a time. Hence the use of two puts in the above program. That is the main reason. Why? If I have to print one string, that puts only prints the only one string, but we can, if we want that there are two strings that we specify, then we have to use multiple puts. We cannot take that whenever we use the puts there is a gap in this one and we can use this one. No, that is not possible. So we can put, or we have to give the different puts for the different strings, for the different set of characters. Puts places the cursor onto the next line. Though gets is capable of receiving only one string at a time, the plus point with gets is that it receives a multi-word string. That is, we can also receive a multi-word string. If we are prepared to take the trouble, we can make scanf accept multi-word string by writing in this manner. That is, if we are going to access the scanf function instead of the gets function, how we can get the multi-word string? This is the way how we can get the multi-word string. First of all, the variable will be declared, array variable, then printf, then there is a scanf. This is the way how scanf function will be used for getting the multi-word string. But this is not of no use. Why? Because if we have a function that is a get function, then why we are using the scanf? If there is a get function, we simply use the get function. And there is a puts function for the printing purpose. Though workable, this is the best of the ways to call a function, you should agree. Now, Comes to the next part, that is the pointers and the string. That is how pointer is used within the string. Suppose we wish to store the hello function, right, or hello world. We may either store it in a string, or we may ask the C compiler to store at some location in the memory and assign the address of the string in a char pointer. This is shown below. That is, if my requirement is that we can either store it in a string, or we may ask the C compiler to store at the some location in the memory and assign the address of the string in a char pointer. That is shown in below. This is the string that is used, that is the str. Then there is a, what is the string name? That is a hello. That is a char string equals to hello. Then char pointer p. That p is a pointer variable that stores the word that is also a hello. There is a subtle difference in the usage of these two forms. What is the subtle difference? That is, for example, we cannot assign the string to another. That is, we cannot assign one string to the another, whereas we can assign the char pointer to another char pointer. That is, we can assign one pointer to the another pointer, like char pointer p equals to pointer hello, but we cannot assign one string to the another string. That is shown in the program. This is the string that is used, that is a hello. Then uses the string 2 that contains the 10 characters. Then char pointer s, this is the pointer s that it stores the good morning. Then pointer q. If we work for this one, string 2 equals to string 1. No, string 1 not, or string 1 that is a hello does not contain or does not store in the string 2, because we cannot specify or we cannot give the string 1 into the string 2. But if we use the pointers, that is pointer q and the s, that is the sq equals to s, that works. Also, once a string has been defined, it cannot initialize to another set of characters. Unlike string, such as operation is perfectly valid with char pointers. This is the next example. That is, this is not used. That is, once we have defined the hello with the string 1, we cannot define the next string with the. Why? Because in memory that hello will be placed already. Then how hello will be replaced by the by? No, that will not replaced. But if we are using the pointer, because pointer stores the address, so at that address the values or the character set or the array will be used. Now comes to the next topic, standard library string functions. This is one of the important topic, and believe me, your assignment is generally based on this function, because this is very important and the interesting topic, easy topic. So please listen carefully. I'm not going to start at this time. First of all, take break, refresh, and then start with this topic with a cool mind, that is standard library string function. So let's take a break and then come back starting with this function, this topic, that is a standard library string function. So that's all. I'm taking the break for 5 to 10 minutes, then come back starting with this topic. Now let's start with the next topic. So come back from the break, starting with the next topic, that is the standard library functions or standard library string functions. So now let's see what are the different standard library functions, or what are the functions that is used for the standard library. That is, what are the string functions that is used, that is a standard library string functions. With every C compiler, a large set of useful handling library functions are provided. That is, with every C compiler, that is the C compiler which I am using, a large number of, or the large set of useful string handling library functions are provided. That is, there are huge number of useful string handling library functions that is available, that is provided. Figure 9.2 shows the most commonly function that is used along with their purpose. That is, this is the main thing, or this is the best example. That is the main, or these are the functions that is used in the string. One is the strlen function that is used to find the length of a string. That is, whenever we have to find the length about the string, that is the strlen function. Then strlwr that converts a string to a lowercase. Suppose my string is hello that contains 5 characters. That means that strlen function gives the 5 as the output of the strlen function. Then strlwr that converts a string to the lowercase, that is the string will be used to that convert the string into the lowercase, that is the strlwr. Then strupr, that is used to convert the string into the uppercase, that is the upr. Then strcat, cat means concatenate, that appends one string at the end of another, that is that is used to concatenate, or that is used to cat, or that is used to append, or that is used to add the string at the end of the another string. Then strncat, that appends the first n character of a string at the end of the another, that is the strncat. That is the first n character will be appended at the end of the another string. Then strcpy, that is used to copy one string into the another string, that is if I want to copy one string into the another string, that is done by the strcpy function. Then strncpy function, that copies the first n characters of one string into the another, that copies the first n character, that is if I am using the first n characters, that copies the first n characters of one string into the another string. Then strncmp, that is used for the compare to string. Suppose we have to compare or I am going to compare, or my task is to compare two strings, that is hello and the hello one. So that strcmp function compares the two strings with each other. How it will compare? We use the strcmp function, that is used to the compare. We use the two words like hello and the hello word, so it is used for the comparison, that compares the two strings. Then next strncmp, that compares the first n characters. We specify the number of characters of the two string, that is used for the comparison. This means there is a difference between the strcmp and the strncmp. What is the difference? In strcmp it is used to compare the two strings, but in strncmp it is used to compare the first n characters of the two strings. That is the first n character means we have to specify the number of characters that is used to compare with the strings. Then strcmpi, that compares the two strings without regard of the case. That is I denotes that this function ignores the case, that is there is no case sensitive, means there is no case we have to use, either uses the uppercase or either uses the lower case, that is strcmpi. This is also stricmp, that compares the two strings without regard of the case, that is identical to this one. Then strnicmp, that compares the first n characters, that we have to specify the number. Then strdup, that is used for duplicate a string. Suppose I have to, or my task is to duplicate a string. Suppose hello word will be duplicated. This is my main requirement. How it will be duplicated, or how it will be duplicated with another word, that is the strdup. Then strchr, that finds the first occurrence of a given character in an array. That is, suppose I want that in hello, what is the, or where is the, or how do I find the first occurrence of a given character in a string? That is done by using the strchr. Then next is how to find the last occurrence, that is strrchr, that is how to find the last occurrence of a given character in an array. That is the next requirement. Next strstr, that is there are two str, that is how to find the first occurrence of a given string in another string. So one is find the first occurrence of a given character. Suppose I have given e to find in the array, so it gives the location. Suppose in hello it is e is placed at the second location, so it is given as the second. Then find the last occurrence in the hello. If there is a e that is also available in at the end, so that gives the last occurrence. If no, there is no output, that is a 0. Then if we are using two strings, that is the hello world, or in hello there is a bracket, there is a word, that is string is used, or string characters are used, string variable is used under the hello. So we have to find the first occurrence of the given string in the another string. Then str set, that is used to set all the characters of string to a given character. That is used to set the characters, or set all the characters of the string to a given character that is given. Then strn set, that sets the first n number of characters or first n characters of a string to a given character. That is, it is used to set the first n characters of a string to a given character. Then next one is the reverse, that is used to reverse a string, that is str reverse. These are the functions, these are the library functions that is used in the string and that is used for the operations on the string. Out of the above list, we shall discuss the function, that is what are the function, that is the strlen function, cpy, cat, cmp. So these are the function, these are the four basic functions that is most commonly used. What are these functions? One is used for calculating or calculating the length of the string. Then for copying the string from one string to the another, we can copy. Then cat, that is used to concatenate, that is we can append or we can add any value, any character to the string. And then there is a comparison, that is we have to compare two strings, that is the strcmp. So these are the four basic functions that is used: strlen, strcpy, strcat and strcmp. Since these are the most commonly function, this will also illustrate how these functions will be handled. Now let us explain only these four functions one by one. These are the important as well as the easiest function. So first is strlen function. This function counts the number of characters present in a string. As I told you, this function is used to count the number of characters that is present in the string. Its usage is illustrated in the following program. That is how it will be used. Its usage is available in this program, that is the len function. Then uses the main function, that is the main. Then uses the array, that is a char, ARR array. There is a pointer or there is an array that is used. What is the word that is used? That is a bumbles or bamboos. That is now uses two variable. What are the two variable? One is len1 and one is len2. So uses two variable, that is either uses len1 and either uses len2. So first of all char array will be used, then uses two variable, len1 and the len2. Then uses in len1 there is a calculating the length of the array. So we are calculating the length of the array. What is the length of the array? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here what is the length? That is a 10. And in len2 what is the length of the Humpty Dumpty? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this is 13. So in len1 variable it is stored as a length of the array by using the function. What is the function name? That is a strlen. It gives the output 10, that is stored in len1, and this is the strlen for Humpty Dumpty, that gives the 13, that is stored in len2. Then uses the printf for printing the values. What is the output for this one? Len1, that is the 10. What is the output? That is the 13. So this is the /n that is used for printing in the next line. Then string equals to %s. The same as it is string equals to, what is the %s? That is the len1, that is the bumbles. Sorry, this is the %s is used for the array, that is the bumbles. Then next character or the next word, that is the length equals to %d. Why it is using the %d? Because the len1 that is in a numeric form, because it contains the number of characters that is in integer, that's why it is using the %d, and the len1 that gives the length equals to 10. Then in the next line printf string equals to %s, that is a %s means Humpty Dumpty. Then there is a space, then there is a length equals to %d, that is a length equals to len2, that is a 13. So this is the way how len function or strlen function will be used, that is used for calculating the length of the string. And in this example we have put or we have already put the or defined the two variable, that is the len1 and the len2, and these two functions are used to store the length of the different variables. For example, in first there is an array that will be stored, that is the 10 characters, and in the 2 there is a len2 that has stored, that has the 13 characters. So both have given the 10 and the 13. Note that in the first call to the function strlen, we are passing the base address of the string, and the function in turn returns the length of the string. That is, we are passing the length and we are returning from the length. While calculating the length, it does not count /n. That is, while calculating the length, it does not count the null character. That is, it does not take the null characters while calculating or while counting the characters. That is, if I count, if there is a hello, HELLO, there are total 5 characters in hello. So it will not calculate the null character. That is, it does not give the output as a 6. As I told you in the beginning, that the string is a collection of character with the null character. But if I calculate with the help of the strlen, it does not calculate with the null characters. So while calculating it is not calculated. Therefore, even in the second call, what gets passed to the str is the address of the string and not the string itself. Can we not write a function strlen? That is, we cannot write the function strlen which intimate or imitates the standard library function, that is a strlen function. Now let us try. First of all, look alike of the function strlen. There is a main function that is used, then uses the char array bumbles. That is the one array will be used, that is of character type, that is an array, and then that is a word, or what is a word, that is a bumbles. Then 2 variables are declared the same way, that is a len1 and the len2. Then in the len1 uses the xstrlen function, that is used for calculating the length. That is used for calculating the length. So this xstrlen will be used for the array variable, and this xstrlen is used for the Humpty Dumpty. Then uses the printf, the same, the string equals to %s, length equals to %d, then there is an array, there is a len. So string equals to %s means it is storing the string as an array, that what is defined in an array, that is a bumbles, and length equals to %d. What is the %d? That is a len1, that stores the length of the array, characters of the array. In the same way, Humpty Dumpty len2. Now definition of the strlen function. Why? Because this function, that is strlen function, is a predefined function, library function. So this is the output, because this is the strlen function, that is already predefined function, that is a library function. So if I am using this with this one, there is no hard and fast rule to define this function. But if I am using xstrlen, this is not a library function. So we have to define this function like any other function. This is the strlen, uses a variable, that is a char pointer s, that is a pointer variable will be used. Then uses int length equals to 0, that is uses the variable that is a length, that has output, or that has a value 0. Then using the while loop, we have to check the condition, that is it will execute until the loop or the until the pointer s, that is a s variable, becomes the null variable, that is a while pointer s is not equals to the null. So this is the condition. Then length plus plus, that is the length will be incremented, then s plus plus, that is the s will be incremented. Then there is a return value, that is a length, that is we have to return the value, or we have to return the variable value, that is a length. So this is the definition of the function, that is strlen function will be used, that is char pointer s, then uses the variable, that is the length equals to 0, then while pointer s is not equals to null, length plus plus s plus plus, return length. The output will be this one. What is the output? That is a string equals to bumbles, then what is the array name? That is the bumbles, then length equals to 10, then string equals to Humpty Dumpty, length equals to 13. In the function strlen is very fairly simple. Means the main difference is that if I am using the standard library function like strlen, so there is no requirement for define these functions. But if I'm using the strlen, that is not a library function, then we have to define this function separately like any other function. This function is fairly simple. Counting the end of characters is not met, or in other words, keeping or keep count characters till the pointer does not point to the null. Now comes to the next part, that is the strcpy function, that is used to copy the content of one string into the another string. So we have finished with the strlen function. Next function is strcpy function. This function copies the content of one string into the another string. That is, whenever we have to copy the content of one string into the another string, that will be used, or that will be done by using the strcpy function. The base address of the source and the target string. What is the source? From where we have to copy the data, and the target where we have to put the data. That is, the base address of the source and the target string should be supplied to this function. That is, for copying the data from one part to another, we have to supply the addresses also, in which we have to put the word, and from where we have to fetch the word. This is the example of the strcpy function. That is the main function that is used. One is a char, then there is a source is the variable, or source is the array variable that stores the sayonara. There is the word that is used, that is the sayonara. That source is the array variable. Then uses one more variable, that is a target. So in this two array variables are used. One is source that contains the sayonara, and one is a target that is of 20 characters. So this is blank that contains sayonara, and this is the target that contains 20 characters. Now I have to copy the target, I have to copy the source into the target. One important thing, in which we have to put the output, that will be placed at the left side, and from where we have to put from where we have to fetch the input, that is comes on the right side. Means the source from where we have to fetch the data, that is available on the right side, and the target in which we have to put the data, that is available on the left side. This is the output, that is we have to print /n, that is in a next line, source string equals to %s. What is the meaning of %s? That is a source, then target string equals to %s target. So what is the source? The source is sayonara, this is the source, and the target is also sayonara, right? On supplying the base addresses, str goes on copying the character in store string into the target string till it does not encounter the end of the character, that is a null character. This means this works for the entire set of characters until the null character will be used. It is our responsibility to see that the target string dimension is big enough to hold the string being copied into. That is the target, or the in which we have to put the string must be fair enough, must be large, so that we have to put that string, or put the source string into the target string. Therefore a string get copied into the another piecemeal and character by character. That is that is the string will be copied one by one or copied into the another piecemeal and character by character. There is no shortcut for this. Let us now attempt to mimic strcpy via our own string copy function, that is using the xstrcpy. So we are using the next function, that is the xctr strcpy function. Then uses the main, uses the char source, that is the source array variable will be used, that is the sayonara. Then target will be used, that is 20, uses the function, that is xstrcpy. This is not a standard function, so we have to define this function. This is the definition of the function. Then print the value, that is the source string equals to source, target string equals to target. Then uses xstrcpy, char pointer t and the char pointer s. Then uses the while loop. It will terminate until the s, that is the pointer s, is not equals to 0. Then uses the or stores the source pointer into the target pointer, then s plus plus. So this is the same example that is used. This is the explanation of the strcpy function. Now come to the next, that is a strcat function. That is the next part. This function concatenates the source string at the end of the target string. That is, whenever we have to concatenate, whenever we have to add the source string to the end of the target string, means whenever we have to add some characters to the string, then we use the strcat function, that is the concatenate function. For example, Bombay and Nagpur on concatenation will give the result, will give the string, that is the Bombay Nagpur. That is, we have to add these two strings, that is Bombay Nagpur. This is an example of str, how it works. We uses the main function, start the main function, define the char variable, that is the source equals to folks. So this is the source, that is the folks. Then target, that is denoting the 30 value, that is the maximum is 30. Then there is a hello. Now comparison or compare or concatenate the target or source into the target, that is folks will be gone into the hello, that is the output will be hello folks, right? As I said, whatever the output place, that is in which we have to put the output, that will be placed on the left side, and from where we have to pick up the values, that will be available at the right side. So target is available at the left side and the source is available at the right side. So this is target, this is source. So in target there is a hello already available, that will be, and source will also be added, that is a hello folk. This is the answer. So in this, first of all, what is the source string? That is only a source, that is a folk. What is the target string right now? That is a hello is already available. Now folk is also added at the end of the character. This is the most important point. This is the concatenate the source string at the end of the target string, not at the beginning of the target string. It is added, or it appends, or it concatenate at the end of the target string. This is the target string, that is the hello folks. Note that the target string has been made big enough to hold the final string. That is the target string has been made big enough, that is the target is big enough to store the source string. I leave it to you to develop your own strcat function on the lines of this one and this one. That is, we can also specify the same function, that is the strcat function, as we done in the len and the cpy function. Now last function is the strcmp function, that is used to compare the two functions, that is used to compare the two strings. So this is a function which compares two strings to find out the whether they are same or different. That is, This is a function that is used to compare two strings whether they are the same strings or they are different strings. The two strings are compared character by character until there is a mismatch or the end of the one of the string is reached, whichever occur first. So we have to compare these two strings one by one or character by character. So two strings are compared in strcmp function character by character until there is a mismatch or end of the one of the string is reached, whichever occur first. If the two strings are identical, that is if the two strings are same, then strcmp results returns a value 0. That is if the two strings what we compare is the same, then it gives the output as a 0. If they are not same, it returns the numeric difference. What is the difference between the ASCII value of the first non-matching and non-matching pair of characters? Suppose I have compared hello and the hello G, means hello and the hello G. There is one word that is unmatched in this one. What is that word? That is G. So the compiler compares or gives the output as the difference between the ASCII value of the G and the null characters. Null has a value that is 0, so it gives the output between the 0 and the character, that is a G character ASCII values. Here is a program that puts strcmp in action. So this is the strcmp that is used to compare the two strings. Main function is used, then char string 1. That is string 1 will be used, that is the what is contained in the string 1, that is Jerry. What is contained in string 2, that is Ferry. Three variables are declared, that is I, J, K. Then what is how or in which or what is the main in which we can store the I or we store the output, that is the I, that is the strcmp, that is uses the comparison function, that is string 1 and the Jerry. What is the string 1? That is the Jerry. So Jerry is compared with the Jerry, that is the gives the output 0. Then J equals to strcmp, that is in J the comparison will be performed on the string 1 and the string 2. What is the string 1? That is Jerry. What is the string 2? That is Ferry. Now compare Jerry and the Ferry. If there is any difference, that gives the difference, that is a 4. Means there is a difference between the J ASCII value and the F ASCII value. What is the difference? That is a 4. Then K equals to strcmp, that is also a function. What is the comparison? That is the Jerry string 1 and the Jerry boys. This is a comparison between the Jerry and the Jerry boy. And what is the output? That is minus 32. Then prints the IJK. So first of all, that there is no difference, then there is a difference of 4, then there is a difference of minus 32. This says in the first call to strcmp, the two strings are identical, that is Jerry, and the value returned is 0. In the second call, the first character of Jerry does not match with the first character of Ferry, and the result is 4, which is the numeric difference between the J and the F. In the third call to the CMP, Jerry does not match with the Jerry boy because the null character at the end of the Jerry does not make the blank in the Jerry boy. That is, there is a blank at the end of the Jerry, but in the target there is a Jerry boy, so there is a mismatch or there is a comparison between the Jerry space and the Jerry boy. So that gives the output as the difference between Jerry and the Jerry boy. That the value return is Jerry 2. एक मिनट. So this is the comparison operator that is used. So this is the Jerry and the Jerry boy. The value return is minus 32, which is the value of the null character minus the ASCII of the space, that is the null character, that is 0, which is equals to the minus 32, that is 0 which is equals to minus 32. The exact value of mismatch will rarely concern us. All we usually want to know is whether or not the first string is alphabetically before the second string. If it is, a negative value is returned. If it is not, a positive value is returned. Any non-zero value means there is a mismatch. Try to implement this procedure in a function that is the strcmp function. So till now we have covered about 4 functions. What are the 4 functions? That is strlen, strcmp, strcat, and one is strcmp, one is strcat, yes, concatenate. So one is strlen, one is strcmp, one is strcpy, one is strcat. So cat, cmp, cpy, and the len function. So these are the 4 functions that is used in the, or that is used as the standard library functions. Next topic is the 2-dimensional array of characters, that I'm not going to start in the today's class, because I think in today's class this is too much, because we have studied about the string, we have studied about the pointer and the string, we have studied about the 4 functions. So this is too enough for the today's class. In the tomorrow's class I'm going to start with the topic, that is how till now we have covered only 1 variable, 1 string, 2 string, 3 strings. Now how different strings will be used as a 2-dimensional array, that is in different rows and different columns, that is a 2-dimensional array of characters. So let's stop over here only. Now if you have any doubt, then please text the doubt and I will answer you. But before and winding up, I'm saying please practice the questions which is available at the end of the chapters. So that's all. Thanks a lot everyone. In the next class I'm going to start the 2-dimensional array of characters. So thanks a lot everyone. Bye bye.